transit, Mars plus transit, because not Mars transiting the 4 planets going together in the transit mode. And 3 other planets with Mars are Sun, Mercury and Venus in the same house. So for each and every sign, I'm defining the effect as well. Sagittarius, after 17th January 2026, the transit effect. Mars, Sun, Mercury, Venus in second house. Mars, Sun, Mercury, Venus in second house. This transit can financially either very good or extremely difficult, depending on how you handle it and how you present it. The good side of this transit stems from the power to attract material possessions and money, as well as powerful people. The financial opportunity may come up, but difficulty may arise from your tendency to be extravagant. Not that spending is wrong, but be careful. Venus influence is not very practical. Often your taste will be more lavish than your budget can afford. You're especially susceptible to beautiful lifestyle, valuable items, art, objective to beautify your home environment, or entertainment to make your life very pleasant and very enjoyable. Care in spending is advisable. This particular transit can be quite favorable to financial negotiation. You'll be able to handle the relationship involved in any transaction to your benefit. For Venus always grant the ability to handle people. Borrowing money should not be very difficult. Investment made under this influence are very usually quite advantageous, especially investment in art, object of beauty can be useful. Again, be careful not to invest money that you need for everyday living. At this time, you should reflect upon your value and the things that you value. Traditionally, the second house is the house of money and of movable property, as opposed to real estate. In modern time, we refer to it as house of resources in general, what we value, both abstract value and material objects. During this particular long time period, more than 1 month long transit, you should examine your relationship to the resources of your life. Do they serve your needs or do you serve theirs? Many people, out of misguided need for security, become so involved with their possession they cannot act freely. For the fear of damaging their own interest, that is property interest, at this time you need to express yourself through your material and non-material resources, using them to define you to yourself to others. For example, if you may feel having a party or other celebration so that your material resources can give pleasure and amusement to your friends, you may want to show off something you own to others because you'll take so much pleasure in it to yourself. Obviously, this can be carried too far so that your behavior is obnoxious to others, but it can also be a source of good timing for you and your friends. More than any other time, you now want to have a greater control of your life through the things that you value. On material level, this may mean that you will acquire possession in order to gain more control over your own life or over other people. On psychological level, it indicates a need to assert your value system. But remember that others have a right to their own values. You should stand up for your own, but not by uptilling someone else. At this time, you're inclined to identify your ego with what you own and what you value. This can have many different effects, some negatives, some positives. To deal with this negative effect first, you may consider your financial position to be a sign of your personal growth, personal worth. If you have money, you feel that you are a good person. If you don't have money, then you feel bad and discouraged, quite aside from anything you have accomplished. But you act as if you are what you have. But it should be obvious that you're not you're not your bankroll, your car, your furniture, or other property and possession. Your reaction in this case are completely inappropriate. You may become overly touchy about your beliefs, about your opinions, and desire in some areas get into arguments about their merit or worth. This transit can also lead to dispute with others over the ownership or use of property other than real estate, which can lead to estrangement from others. Your desire to have possession is rather strong at this time, and you may be inclined to make unwise, impulsive purchases because you feel that you must have the item. You do this to gratify your ego, not to get something you need. This transit is often a sign of wasteful spending. On the psychological level, you may get into dispute what about the value in the abstract, that is, whether some value is important or not. Here again, you are falsely identifying your ego with what you value, just as if it were a material object. On the positive side, you're willing to use your possession to get work done. If you have something that can help you accomplishing a task, you'll use it. The things you own are not likely to sit around uselessly and gather dust. No. Once you have gotten over petty ego problem with your possession, you'll allow others to use what you have, so long as they acknowledge your willingness to share. Again, to abstract psychological level, you are willing to work to establish and defend your value, make others understand them. Just be sure that you don't try to shove your belief down the people's throat. At this time, your attention naturally turns to whether you value in life, whether it is material or intellectual or spiritual. You will think about the plan for these elements much more than usual now. You may enter into negotiation with others concerning about property or money, or you may have to define your sense of value to another person so there he or she knows where you stand on an issue. On the mundane level, this transit often signifies that you are much more concerned with business and commercial affairs than usual. This can cover a broad range of activity, from shopping much more than usual to entering into an important business negotiation. The important point here is that whatever you do in this area, you'll put a great deal of planning and consideration into it, and transaction will be more important and elaborate than usual. As a result, you should be able to make the situation work out the way you want to and take control of the matter. Sagittarius, task precaution chanting. After 17th of January 2026, the tasks do pursue septum, the central nostril, and do wear a metal ring in your septum, central nostril for 14 days. And after 14 days, take out the ring and flow in the fast flowing river. This will boost you up completely. But make sure you're not performing any other task whatsoever those 14 days. Sagittarius, precaution. Refrain from illegal acts. Refrain from fine, penalty, punishment. Refrain from out of control behavior. Refrain from living argument and conflict. Refrain from any form of scandals, illicit affair, foul temper and behavior. The chanting which will give you ultimate boost. Aum, Harim, Sharim, Strim, Hum, Fat. Aum, Harim, Sharim, Strim, Hum, Fat. More you do it, more you boost you up yourself completely to the sky. That is, and root out your problems and complications. You can take your astrological journey even deeper by downloading my free app. Just sign up and you receive a complimentary basic consultation as my welcome gift to you. But you'll have access to premium content, weekly horoscope premium content, monthly horoscope premium content, yearly horoscope premium content. Yes, with transit effect, conclusions, task precaution chanting, very thorough report, weekly, monthly, yearly. Wish you all the best. Thank you.